Hello there, I'm Damien, host of the Farr Show, where we continue Spider-Man week. Tonight we're going to talk about James Cameron's Spider-Man movie, but first, let's review some movies. Amazing Spider-Man 1. You know what? I personally love this movie. I don't see what all the fuss is about. I think Andrew Garfield nailed Spider-Man perfectly, though I never really read the comics. I just understand that he's like a witty kind of man when he's in the suit. He gets like a confidence that he doesn't have when he's Peter Parker. So, really, I think the movie's great. The chemistry between Emma Stone and Andrew Garfield is amazing. The villain is cool. I don't really know the villain, to be honest. I like that they made it where, spoiler alert, her dad is a cop that he, tries to save in some way and fights with at the end, and then he respects Peter. But at the end, he does die, so, she's heartbroken and he can't live with himself for a while, but then he gets over it because, it's Emma Stone. You gotta get over it. So, I give it an FAR, so almost perfect. What do I not like about it? Well, the villain, once again. I don't really care for the villain. And once again, I don't really know much about Spider-Man, so the villain could be amazing in the comics. If he is, you can tell me in the comments below. Then, Amazing Spider-Man 2. What do I think about this one? I give it an F. Is it the worst Spider-Man movie? In my opinion, no. I would say 3 is worse, because 3 is crammed full of villains. I know this one has a lot of villains too with Rhino, but it's Paul Giamatti, so that's great. Electro, which is Jamie Foxx, which is also great. And then Green Goblin, which I don't know who the Green Goblin guy is, but Really, the great part about this is I would just like to take all the rest of the Spider-Man stuff out, well, mainly all the Spider-Man stuff out, and make it where it's just between Peter and Emma Stone. Well, that'd be great. I don't remember her name because, sorry, not a Spider-Man comic book guy. Gwen Stacy, there we go. Just completely forgot. The ending, though, I kind of cried a bit. I'll be honest, I'm a grown man and I cried a bit. I was kind of saddened by, spoiler alert, Gwen dying. I know that she had to die after reading online, because if they were going to make another one, they had to introduce Mary Jane. But, it's all personal preference. So continuing where I left off, where we were talking about Amazing Spider-Man, now let's talk about the movie that could have been. James Cameron's Spider-Man. It was supposed to be like right after Terminator 2, to my understanding. It might have been made instead of True Lies, which, as you know, I have not seen. So, it would have been an origin story because, well, at the time, Spider-Man wasn't a movie, so makes sense. And Leonardo DiCaprio would have been Spider-Man, and rumors say that Arnold Schwarzenegger would have been Dr. Octopus or Octavius. I'm certain I'm not pronouncing that right. So, then the other villains would have been Electro, who is Carl Straighthand, who's normally Max Dillon. He was Max Dillon in Amazing Spider-Man 2, and played by Jamie Foxx. And then Sandman, who's Bloit, a.k.a. Flint Marco. He was in Spider-Man 3, which was my worst in my opinion. And then what happened to Sandman? Well, he was mutilated by an accident involving a nuclear blast, is the gist. So, what do I think this movie could have been? Well, after reading about it more, which I'm going to go into more depth right now, actually, the climax battle would have been on the World Trade Center, which obviously doesn't exist anymore, but Peter would have revealed his secret to Mary Jane Watson. There would have been a lot of swearing, so I'm assuming rated R. Spider-Man and Mary Jane would have sex on the Brooklyn Bridge at one point, which, going from PG-13 to R, definitely a hard R, it sounds like. I can't say I would have thought the movie would have been amazing. It's James Cameron, though, so I could be wrong. I mean, Titanic is one of my favorite movies. And, well, Avatar is good, and he has a great track record, as we could tell from the video where I talked about James Cameron, and this is the last time I'm talking about James Cameron until Avatar 2. So, really, I think it could have been good, but at the same time, I feel like it could have really flopped, because obviously a hard R doesn't help. PG-13 helps, because you get that happy medium between PG and R. but you don't get R. So, really, I feel kind of lopsided about what could have happened. So, what do you think about the James Cameron movie? There's a lot online about it. If you don't feel I give you enough details, this is all I could find, to be honest. So, as always, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and have a far off night.